You're in tune to the FuseBox Radio Broadcast.
Turn the music up inside my session. These folks gotta hear my message.
Bringing balanced black radio to the masses.
The babysitter just got paid, karma just got erased. Collect your blessings and you're on your way. I'm in line at the soup kitchen. I'm in line for some bread, cheese, and some bottled milk. You ain't shit, so you ain't gotta stop and look. Don't waste my time. These people out here trying to steal my shine. These pigs trying to blow my mind. These people trying to stop my grind. It was only a matter of time. Your interro had committed war crimes, trying to save my black life by fetishizing my dead life. What? Get away from me! You can see my dead body at the protest. You can see my dead body at the protest. You can see my dead body at the protest. You can see my dead body at the protest. Trying to save my black life by fetishizing my dead life. Fuck! Get away from me! You can see my dead body at the protest. You can see my dead body at the protest. You can see my dead body at the protest. You can see my dead body at the protest. Trying to save my black life by fetishizing my dead life. No! Get away from me! You can see my dead body at the protest. You can see my dead body at the protest. You can see my dead body at the protest.
All right, everybody, 1 2 1 2. What's going on? You're now in tune to another session of the syndicated worldwide FuseBox Radio Broadcast, bringing the balance back to black radio each and every week with a mix of music, commentary, interviews, and more. You got myself in the mix, DJ Fusion, and we have another special show based off of our time at Moogfest this past weekend in Durham, North Carolina. We had a special interview with the multi-talented and just really busy lady Moor Mother. Y'all have heard some of her tunes on our show, or have read a lot about her. Activist, producer, MC, poet, rock star, Afrofuturist, and plenty more. We were lucky to be able to get a little bit of time in with her live to just briefly touch base on some of her creative process, music, background, some of the projects she's doing on making Afrofuturism real to folks on a day-to-day basis with the work she's doing in Philly, and plenty more. So listen to an intro tune or two of her music before we get into this interview, and sit back, relax, and enjoy. You can always check out more of what happens at Moogfest via their official website, moogfest.com, moogfest.com. You can check out more of what's going on with Moor Mother in terms of all of her works over at her official website, moormother.com, moormother.com. And you can check out what goes on with the FuseBox Radio Broadcast anytime via our official website, FuseBoxRadio.com, or blog site, BlackRadioIsBack.com. And subscribe to us via your favorite podcast app or service of choice per usual. All right, sit back, relax, and enjoy this special mini Moogfest 2017 episode. Peace. All right, everybody, 1 2 1 2. What's going on? You're now in tune to another session of the syndicated worldwide FuseBox Radio Broadcast, bringing the balance back to black radio ever since 1998, whether it's on your FM dial, internet radio station, podcast, or website. We have a special edition of the show here over at Moogfest in Durham, North Carolina. A lot of people enjoyed the coverage that we did last year, so we're here for a second year. And we were able to get in some wonderful interview time with folks. We got Moor Mother here in the house. Y'all have heard the Fetish Bones album. I know people who've been at the event have been checking out lots of the programming that she's been involved in. And we're just going to kick it a bit and just ask some questions about stuff that's going on in the multi-hyphenated talented woman's repertoire. And all that, fellow Maryland representative, and all that, you know what I'm saying? 301 or myself, and all that. I'm going through stuff like, oh damn, Aberdeen. Oh, I know what that's at.
There we go.
So, yeah, people who know our interview style know that you're gonna hear some of the basics of it. There's some other things I want to try to get into too, because I don't want this to be like cookie cutterish or whatever. You're just there like, yes, I do music that is protest music and blah blah blah. Like, man, that gets. That gets to be wild corn after a while and all of that. But we got to give people who may not be as familiar with use of foundation. with what you do. So I mentioned that you're from Maryland originally and all of that. How did you decide to get into music in terms of being a creator? Since you have done a lot of stuff in the realms of punk rock, electronic, hip hop, all of that type of stuff. Like, what made you like one day decide to be there? Like, hey, I'm going from being the listener to being an active participant.
I always wanted to make music. I always felt like I was making music in some form, whether it was not being recorded. You know what I mean? Mm. So I was in punk bands as early as I can remember. Moving to Philly, I was in a rap group back in Aberdeen. You know, just for a little bit for fun. So I always kept music in my interest and in my heart until I was able to become a professional musician.
Okay. And with all of that type of thing, one of the things I personally really dig about your music is that it's not easily classifiable. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes when you hear things in the realms of protest music, people want to automatically put your protest in a box, which in itself is inherently ridiculous and kind of weird and all of that. And with your particular brand of music, one of the things I personally have really dug is it's not just black protest music, it's literally black women protest music. Because there's a thing where with black women, I think we get stuck in a societal trap in terms of you got to be this stoic, non-feeling broad, and you just got to deal with a lot of shit, but not say, I'm tired of the bullshit, not just from our society, but within, you know, sometimes even our own communities. Like, with your music, like, is it like a purposeful thing that you put your music out that way, or just like something that naturally flows in the creative process?
Well, it was on purpose that I named myself Moor Mother, because I felt like the mother is, you know, the most attacked, the most overworked, you know, and that's, you know, I'm not a mother myself, you know, as in relation to birthing a child, but I feel that and I understand that that's the most important thing, you know, my particular voice as a woman coming from, you know, Section 8 public housing, coming from small town Aberdeen, you know, to really be, you know, tearing stages up, you know, to be really, you know, here producing this message. I find that I don't run into many black women from my upbringing doing music, you know, so I understand that, you know, my particular voice is very important in this time because we're largely underrepresented.
I definitely understand that. And with that type of thing, I think there's still an issue of just showing that black women can be diverse and are literally just people. You're multifaceted people. Like, we're still fighting for that right in 2017, which is beyond ridiculous and all of that. Now, excuse me. In that regard, like, I know for me, one of the songs, like, the best way I can describe your music from my viewpoint is trap. I had to write this down because it just popped up in my brain, like, earlier today. Trap music for folks who are trapped by the bullshit who are going to fuck all the hunters up and whatnot. Like, that to me describes your job, because it's just, they're like, yo, right from the gate, there's like no chill period in between listening to your music. They're not I'm going to get a little mean after a while. Like, the first track is they're like, yeah, fuck you guys, I'm mad. Y'all have to deal with this anger, and this anger can get to a whole other level. And for some people, that's a bit unsettling, but I think that's really needed even before our current political state, just in general this time and age, since America just has a big denial situation in regard to how this country is and how it has treated our people.
And it's all over the world. You know, so many people, because of Hollywood, because of what's the popular music, you know, and all of the heightened violence that's happening all over the world, people want to break. People want their distractions, and they fight for their distractions. So I say, since there's already enough distraction, there's already enough things that stray people away from what's actually going on, why would I participate in that? Why wouldn't I just serve the truth?
No doubt.
You know, and that's what I do.
And with all of that, one of the things that I noticed the focus on was the fetishization of black folks and black women and black, folks' bodies. And with that particular aspect, Do you think that's also a problem sometimes in the protest sphere, or I guess the activist sphere and all that?
Most definitely. I mean, there's a line in the first track of the album where I say, they're dead when the police kill me, but alive when the police kill you. And I feel like that's the perfect example. Some man is killed, and we are all supposed to stand up and rally like we do naturally. But when a woman is killed, it takes a longer process. It's a process of where's the protest for this woman? Where are people saying stuff about this? You know, it's a total flip, you know? It's not the same outpour.
And there's also the thing, too, I think, where there's the entire thing about the perfect victim, which itself is a fetish. Like, okay, they got 4.0s all throughout school and they spoke perfect English or whatever, so maybe they're okay. Oh, wait a minute, they still stick a gun in 4th grade, so that means we're not supposed to care about them and their lives, and that is just a horrid thing. Like, I know one of the verses I loved when I first heard one of your joints was trying to save my black life by fetishizing my black life, where it's like you almost have to fit into that box of good or bad acceptable blackness for people to be there like, okay, well, you're black. And I think one of the things that's interesting now is that we're at a stage where people are pushing above and beyond that with their music, works, and so forth and so on. And then we got the aspect of what people are using the term of Afrofuturism with that. Now, I know, like, I've read some of your stuff and up to like, okay, I am smart, but holy crap, this is deep space. You know, black hole deep, how some of this stuff goes in terms of how folks perceive space and time and all of that on multiple planes. Now, you can talk about that way better than I can. Like, matter of fact, let me put it this way. What is your definition of Afrofuturism and how it can be applied to actually make a better future? I know that, you know, you have organizational work and other stuff that you do within the Philadelphia community where it's just there like this is beyond an academic exercise. It's a day-to-day life exercise.
Yeah, well, we're actually very lucky right now because I have my partner here with me, Rashida Phillips, who we are in the collective Black Quantum Futurism, and she's the smartest person that I know. And also, she wrote the theory on Black Quantum Futurism, and I will allow her to answer that question.
Right. Thank you for being here with us. This was a wonderful surprise on top of everything else.
I mean, our definition of Afrofuturism, you can sort of look it up, and the Wikipedia definition is sort of Black people being able to see themselves in the future, being able to access a future where we've been told we don't exist, we're dead, we don't make it into that future. And it's using the language of speculation and science fiction to sort of explore that. And the thing that we emphasize through our work and how we take Afrofuturism and sort of expand upon it and advance it through our theory of Black Quantum Futurism is thinking about how Afrofuturism sees time and space differently than sort of traditional classical concepts of futurism or traditional concepts of science fiction, which posits, or traditional concepts of reality, which says that time is linear. We're moving into a chaotic, fatalistic universe that we don't have access to, that we can't control. And I think Afrofuturism troubles that notion by really drawing upon these traditional concepts of African ways of experiencing space and time that is more communal, that is more beneficial, that is cyclical, that does not cut the past off from you, that does not cut the future off from you, and says that you can create the future, you can have some creative control over the future, and really again sees time as more communal. And so Afrofuturism takes that notion of time, whether consciously or unconsciously, and in that way it becomes more empowering for, again, Black people who have been told you don't have access to the future, you have no creative control over the future on various levels, and it again troubles that notion as a tool, it's a technology for being able to hack futures where we've been told we don't exist in those futures.
Thanks. See, this is why you ask other people who can break it down, but, well, to be able to rock that out. That is cool. Now, what's some of the work that y'all guys do with the Community Futures Lab? You got folks staring at each other like what? Like who's gonna say what?
Okay, so I will talk about that too. Community Futures Lab is a space that we created through Black Quantum Futurism that is really applying Black Quantum Futurism, the concept, to a particular community that's undergoing active displacement through redevelopment and gentrification. And so the community where we opened the Community Futures Lab is in North Philly, a community called Sharswood that we also live in, and that is undergoing displacement and redevelopment and gentrification through forces outside of its control by the city, by the housing authority. And so we opened that space as a way to use art to think about how we move forward into the future, how, again, these people who are being displaced through this process are able to envision the future of that community that they've been a part of for many years, and that they're now being told you don't have a place here anymore. What they want to see happen in that community through this redevelopment process, because although we can't stop it, we can sort of, again, trouble what's happening there and insert ourselves into this process forcefully if we have to. And so through the Community Futures Lab, we did workshops. We had a resource library. We had a community art gallery that folks from the community could put their artwork in. But the main part of it is that we did this. We did oral history interviews, so it was an oral history project. But we created what we call oral futures to really, again, think about how words, how if you speak things into existence, you can create the future in that way. And so really interviewing people critically about what they want to see happen in that community, what they want to see continue, what they want to see discontinue, all of those sorts of things, what memories they have. So really part of it is pushing back on a narrative that this community is poor, crime-ridden, and you know, people are animals here and they have no future, really being able to push back on that narrative to say, no, we do have a future, we have a past, we have beautiful memories, we have agency here, and how this story is being told about us.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, that's perfect. And the most important thing I think about the Community Futures Lab is setting the example of coming into communities that are experiencing rapid redevelopment and not expecting them to come to some museum or some event that we're holding somewhere else in an area that's already been gentrified or that's already been run by companies that take away and do not serve these communities.
Awesome. Cool. See, Black Women United, awesome.
Yeah, she gave me an eye, so I had to like give her an eye back.
See, this might make me wish I had the video crew. Because you would have seen all the stairs and everything else. We're just there like, see, it's just united. The glow is real. Now,
okay, how many more we got left?
Just a few quickies and all of that. Now, again, your music is just wild diverse. Like, if somebody goes to a Moor Mother show, what should we expect to see besides literally you there? 'Cause I can see a show that could go all over the place with you.
The most, I guess, the genre that I would say that I'm a part of is like the truth. You're not going to get anything sugar-coated. If you come to my concert, you're just going to get straight reality, like shoved down your throat, whether you want it or not. And I can't really say a genre because there's no genre. It's merely like just the truth, just a hard-hitting truth that makes folks question themselves or cry or whatever.
So you can get into the stereotypical, you're going to get in all your emotions when folks go and see one of your shows.
Yeah, it's a very emotional show, yes.
Okay, cool. Now, because we're at Moogfest, I'm just going to ask like one relatively quick techie question. Being that you have done, like, again, your production game is like crazy, like, can you just give folks a few ideas of some of the equipment that you use?
I use the Mother 32. I use TR8 drum machine. I use a work stack. I use a mini theremin. I use handmade drone synths. I use circuit bent things. That's a good one. Samplers.
Along those lines. I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm done.
No, it's fine. We're in the media room, everybody who's listening to this show, which is cool because, I mean, I'm a music geek, so I'm just here like, how the hell did she put that together? I mean, I ain't trying to get trade secrets or nothing. I'm just curious. So
yeah.
That's cool. And, since I know we got a lot more stuff going on, lastly, well, one thing, where do you think protest music is going to go in the future, and what should we expect from you in the future? Creatively, work-wise, so forth and so on.
I think protest music will go, and as more women start and continue making music, and are able to make music with the freedom to produce records and not have to deal with a bunch of jerks, people that are trying to fetishize them or use them, I feel like protest music is going to go the way of woman, and also non-binary also, I feel like that's who has the most power when it comes to protest music is women.
All right, good. And one last question that I always like asking people in general: who would you best like to work with on a future music project?
I would love to work with Saul Williams. I would love to work with Montanea Roberts. I would love to work with any jazz legend ever. Anyone. I don't care, all of them at once. I like Rihanna. I like to work with Rihanna. Just because someone said that earlier, then I was like, oh yeah, I would. Yeah, why not?
Honestly, there's one or two of your songs I could see a remix being crazy, and they would be there like, holy shit, Rihanna done went crazy.
I know, Rihanna would. I know it would be a little rough on Rihanna, but I feel like Rihanna's, her attitude is very punk. And I feel like that's, it's all about the passion for music and the attitude, not whatever, people make music all the time, but it's about who you are as a person, and what your passions are that's going to propel you to really reach the ears of other women, for sure.
No doubt. And that's just funny you mentioned that, because I saw her live not too long ago. I'm just like, damn, this chick is in a different place, yo. That's cool. Just unexpected. Anyway, I know y'all got a lot going on. Thank you so much for taking out your time.
Thank you so
with
much.
us here at the FuseBox Radio. And I don't know if you have any stuff you want to shout out, people you want to shout out, websites, all of that.
I would like to say thank you to Fuse Radio. I appreciate the hard work that you're doing in showcasing Black women in the arts. That's very important to me. So shout out to all the listeners too that are tuning in. It's a very, very important to support this radio station. And I hope others are inspired to create their own radio station and produce the stories that are important, the stories that we need to hear. Thank you very much.
No doubt. Thank y'all. And people know that we are big advocates of indie media and creating indie media. I've been doing this way longer than I should have. I don't have a kid. My show is my kid.
Right on.
So, it's 19 years old. So thank y'all for, being a part of our history and, having us be a part of your history. And for everybody, y'all know you can go to our official blog site, blackradiosback.com. We'll have links to everything pertaining to this interview. So folks, go on ahead, Revolution needs revenue. So buy this music, check out these shows, recommend, folks to go out there, work with organizations to be a part of your community and all of that. And yeah, we are going to go on ahead and wrap this up, and y'all going to hear some extra Moor Mother tunes in the mix with this in a moment. But y'all know how it goes, bringing the balance Black to Black Radio, DJ Fusion, FuseBox Radio Broadcast, making it happen. All right, peace.
Peace.
My father can no longer speak. Something about pneumonia, something in his brain. Something about swinging low, sweet chariots. Laid me in Vietnam. I got wool on my back, get it off, get it off. I got wool on my back, get it off, get it off. Gave me diabetes, gave me all this heroin to sell. Helped me poison the community. I came home, I'm blowing up. Got death on my back, I got death on my back. Swing low, sweet chariots. Let me here in this penitentiary so I can find religion. Get this death off my back, singing for me. Clutching brown Bibles with cornrows in your head. Singing for me on the phone through the glass while the nurse watching. She took my legs, I ain't leaving, I'll be here with this song in my head. They got me after all that running, after all them prayers since I was a little boy. My father baptized by the word and running with the Holy Ghost, singing low to touch someone. We was singing in the penitentiary, singing away the years. One time we sung the same song for 5 years. Next thing I knew, I was home, back in the projects.
to the FuseBox Radio Broadcast via iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Podcast Addict, and your other favorite podcast players. Check out the FuseBox Radio's official website for our latest episodes, events, and more at FuseBoxRadioOnline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook at Facebook.com/FuseBox Radio Show, Twitter at Twitter.com/FuseBox Radio, and Instagram at Instagram.com/FuseBox Radio. Feel free to contact us at FuseBoxRadio@gmail.com to submit music for airplay consideration,